All right, guys, what is up here? This is Charles from Team COG coming at you guys here with another Mermail discussion video. If you guys watched the after ban list stream that I did, when the ban list dropped, I showed that this deck is 100% not dead, and it's kind of just blows my mind that so many people would think like the deck is dead, but the deck literally can do so much still. Like, it's amazing to me, especially people who even think like the deck's dead, like competitive wise. Like, I think that, yeah, it's a little bit more less forgiving now. Simply because the opponent opens multiple hand traps, you can't just like force that second hand trap that you can't rip with like Toad now. But you definitely have ways to play around depending on the hand traps. It's just, I guess it makes the deck a little bit more skillful in a way. But I want to go and showcase you guys like my combo, which is just Prince plus any water, which if you guys don't know, you play like a total of 3 spells and 6 traps. So like the likelihood of you not seeing Prince into the water is like slim to none. There is definitely different ways to do this combo, guys. There's like so many different ways. So this is not gospel by any means. You guys just experiment and find which sequence suits you. And this is finally one that I found that I'm like, I like, but I don't know if it's like what I'm sold on. But essentially, it's Prince plus any water, which, of course, thank goodness, like, we're, like, this is one of the cool things about this deck is we're able to play, like, the Molcharmy Perilia, and it, like, benefits us because it's a water hand trap. But for the sake of the video, just to show you guys, like, card economy and all that stuff, we're going to throw in 3 discards because the deck does discard quite a lot, which I think is fair. It'd be kind of wild for a deck that could do what this deck does and not have to discard, right? Like, I'm able to go put up this whole board, and then I still have 3 or 4 cards in my hand to be, like, non-engine. That's pretty crazy. But like this right here is just going to show you what one Prince plus a water discard can do and what it's going to be able to play around. But please remember, if you guys enjoy this type of content, to hit that subscribe button, ding that notification bell. And if you guys want to support the channel, get knighted, become a member, become a channel member, you know, hit that join button. And yeah, so we're just going to hopefully get back into it, start a new job. So like, yeah, so hopefully this will give me a little bit more time to make more content and stuff like that. I guess I was kind of getting burnt out of constantly uploading, constantly doing stuff. I was really struggling with like a theme schedule for the channel, but instead we're just going to try and like wing it, try to do like 1 or 2 videos a week and just go from there. But without further ado, less rambling, let's go and start with normal summoning a Netribus, the Prince that was promised. And we're going to go ahead and use Prince's effect to go ahead and send for cost the Shadow Squad, and then we're going to go ahead and add ourselves Dragoon. Shadow Squad will trigger, summoning out from the deck our Abyss Pike, which I'm happy this card finally came QCR. This whole deck can be QCR, which is kind of nice. So effect to Pike. Go ahead and discard here to go ahead and add yourself your level 3. So right here, we're just going to go ahead and grab ourselves the Abyss Shrine, and then Dragoons will trigger, adding ourselves our Minstrel. So this is where you're going to be able to go ahead and go Minstrel, pitching the 1 random water in your hand, to go ahead and look at their hand and snipe the Nibiru that everyone is so scared about, thinking the deck dies to now. Well, you know, you snap the Nibiru, and then you see 4 other hand traps, and you're just kind of like, well, dog doo-doo. But anyway, look at their hand, snipe their 1 hand trap, whatever is like problematic, what you think you can play through. Of course, to the open double nib, they're goated. This is their game. You were just destined to lose it. Then we go ahead and go Sprite, and I'll keep a track of how many cards they have in their hand right here. I don't know how well you can see, but it's my Lord of the Rings dice. Go ahead and go Abyss Shrine. To go ahead and summon out Coelacanth. A huge sad story is when I was at this Utah Regional, they had an ultimate rare Coelacanth, but I was really superstitious on upgrading my rarities. I was like, I don't want to like jinx myself. And I totally forgot to get this card after the event and upgrade it to Ultimate. So, like, shame on me. I should have done it because, you know, the deck, literally, I won the whole regional with that deck. So I should have, like, you know, paid it some homage. But anyway, we're going to trigger the Prince to go ahead and reborn out the Atlantean Dragoons. So as you can see here, I will go ahead and overlay up here for the new Bahamut, which is essentially the Snow Dust Giant. I know some lists are playing Double Giant. I've not moved to those or experimented with that yet. I don't see there's a need to, but you definitely can. But as you can see, Snow Dust Giant is not as good as Bahamut Shark because we have to have a water to reveal, and currently in this right here, we do not have that. So it's all self-sustained, just 1 water, 1 Netribus, right? But we're going to go and use Prince's effect, discarding, to go ahead and summon out as many fish as we can, which is Greet This. It's kind of awesome, too, that if you wanted to, you could experiment with Sif, you could experiment with Fishboard Launcher, you would experiment with a lot of things. But we're going to go right here, and we're going to go ahead and first off Synchro Summon into our white Aura Monoceros, or the Narwhal. Use the effect of Monoceros. You could chain block it if you wanted to, but we're just going to summon out the Gluttonous Baby Croc here. We'll go ahead and use Baby Croc's effect. We only ripped 1 card from their hand, so they should have 4 more cards in their hand. And if they did hand trap you somewhere in here and it was just didn't matter because you had another extender, they still will have 3 cards in their hand to be able to reborn out your Abyss Sprite. Right here, we're just going to go ahead and overlay into the Virtue Dragon. If you want to, you can use the Virtue Dragon to add the Virtue Stream. Virtue Stream, I think that's what it's called. I should have it somewhere over here. Maybe I don't have it. Nope. But It's just another form of disruption. I don't know how I feel about it yet because I feel like the deck is already playing like some softer bricks as it is, especially if you open multiple pikes, you open like different things like that. So I haven't like moved to it. I think I'm at 43 cards too. I'm not willing to like bump it up anymore. So right now, LaVirtue is just here to pretty much just serve as an add recursion from the graveyard. So take note, you could search LaVirtue stream, and that would give you the ability to have a layer disruption. Just so you guys know, might not gospel, like I said, I might move to it, but we're going to go ahead and use the dragon here to go ahead and detach the Grethus, to go ahead and add back our prince. So as you guys can see, right now we do have a water in hand, so we could potentially use that now, but I think the correct call, if I remember right, we have 5 waters in grave, is to go ahead and overlay here for our Abyss Sprite. Almost forgot her name. Use Sprite's effect to go ahead and bring back out Pike. So we're down to this right here. As you guys can see, we have 4 waters in the graveyard. We'll go ahead and overlay here for Kraken. And the reason I am playing Kraken is because your inboard mostly ends on like the statue. And you have to have some form to protect the statue because they could just normal summon and battle over. So Kraken, along with the synchros such as the Chin-Ying, the ability to use the Poseidon in the opponent's turn, like the ability to use Shrine is like proactive that way, is the way that you keep the statue alive. But as you guys can see here, this is where we're at. We're going to go ahead and go Snow Dust effect, detach Dragoons, reveal the Prince. So go ahead and that'll pretty much search us a Sea Serpent. What's kind of wild is some people like have talked about how bad this card is, but like literally this card just says search a Sea Serpent. So why wouldn't you play that, right? We go ahead and go here, and as I count, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 waters in the graveyard. We'll go ahead and summon out our Molten Glacia, rip 2 more cards from their hand, meaning that they are down 3 cards. We'll go ahead and use the LaVirtue Dragon and the Snow Dust Giant to go ahead and go up into our our Marine Cess Coral Anemone. We'll go ahead and use Coral Anemone's effect to go ahead and reborn out our Shadow Squad. We'll go ahead and use Shadow Squad's effect, ditching another random discard to turn Molten Glacia to a level 7, same with Shadow Squad. And we'll overlay right here for Abyss YuGiOh. So we got our monster negate right here. And then we'll go ahead and smack on top of our Abyss Right Poseidra. This is why I kind of think you need to like fit 2 Poseidras in, because we used 1 through our going first combo, so having a second one when you know you're going second would be pretty decent. But we'll go ahead and link on up here into our Prince, or the King, excuse me. I keep forgetting that the Neptibus has become King. We'll go ahead and use Poseidra's effect. You do have an option. I do recommend, depending on what you want to do, you can go ahead and pitch a water, which will trigger the Neptibus effect, or you can pitch the Dominus, which won't trigger Neptibus, but in this case, because like right here we have a layer disruption in the form of the Prince, and I think somewhere through the line, if you wanted to play 2 Snow Devils, essentially right here, this could have been like your second Snow Dust Devil, and you could have detached and got a second search, which might have come up. In this case, it'd give us an additional water to pitch while keeping the Neptibus in, so maybe that might be the way. But I don't know if that line ends on the ability to protect the statue, which is, like, of course, like, your win condition is statue. So, like, if they had the ability to battle over statue, they could, like, out your board. Like, especially with Ryziel being able to, like, still get to, like, X Ryziel. Like, if they just normal summon, whack it, then go X, then, like, sends the aggregator. Aggregator will turn off one of your negates. Like, it just spirals out of control there. So you want to, like, kind of, like, protect statue. But anyway, we'll just go and pitch Neptibus to activate the Poseidra, to go ahead and summon out 3 level 3, or we have to summon out 3 level 3s, or we can summon out the Prince that we pitch. And then we can trigger the King here to go ahead and add herself the Triana, which arguably is probably, it's kind of weird because I know some people call this card like a brick in the list, but like I feel like it's such a powerful extender. Like it definitely does it. It makes your bad hands worse, but it makes your hands better. So we're like right here, you know, so we go ahead and we will synchro into our Prima Donna. Make sure you put Prima Donna here. I will then go ahead and use Prima Donna's effect to shuffle back the banished card, which if it happened to be Nib, that's okay, because by the time that at resolution, the barrier statue is now out here, and they can't nib you. We'll go ahead and use the Triana effect. Go ahead and, so like, you have multiple lines you can do right here, multiple things. You can bring back the Prince and Prima Donna go into Dragite. You can go into the Shrine, and then these right here go into Chin-Ying. It's entirely up to you. Since we only have Impulse in hand, you know, depending, like, the only bad thing is, like, Chin-Ying could be we couldn't possibly trigger the Chin-Ying because of the ability to discard, you know what I mean? But you could also play the Ice Jade as well if you didn't want to, like, pitch a card to trigger Chin-Ying. But for the sake of the video, we'll just go Triana into Prince, so that it's just simple, plain, cut and simple. Go here into Prince, and then we'll just synchro off Prince and Prima Donna to go ahead and go right into your Adamancipator Risen. So with that being said, this is the end board. A pop, monster effect negate, a spell and trap negate, and these 3 cards cannot be targeted. And that's one thing you always want to make sure is like when you're managing your board, like even I struggle with it, is because this deck has like so much freestyling to it and so many different like avenues and routes that you just want to make sure that your toad, or your toad, let's see, it's a frog, so it makes sense. Your torrent is being pointed to by Netribus, so they just don't imperm and shut it off. So like right here, this is the end board. I don't see how anyone is like still breaking this board. Like without droplets, I don't see, and they're down 2 cards, so they're gonna have 4 cards, and they're gonna have the droplets at least 2 or 3 of your monsters. You know what I mean? So like it's a hard board to crack, and it's not gonna be done without like some post side deck board breakers. But yeah, this is like kind of cool because, like I said, like it gives like multiple like Netribus just kind of like gives you like layered disruption because it's like these can't be targeted. So the first thing they're going to do is fling, if they have anything, onto Netribus to stop the targeting, and then since you end on a spell and trap negate and a monster effect negate, you got like pretty much Toad, but like watered down Toad, like Toad at home essentially, because Toad was Omni, it covered both monster and both spell and trap negates. Now you just have one that covers both. And like I said, Kraken is really good because even if worst case scenario, they go normal summon a monster that's like over 1,000 and they try to just attack into this, you can go Kraken effect to pop it because it's now being treated as a water. And that's like really crazy. So again, like it's just like sometimes when you're formulating your board, like I said earlier in the video, is you either want to end on like the Kraken plus Torrent, or you want to end on like Chinning. So that way that when you go to figure off your shrine, your shrine, you're able to banish it, ditch a card, and then Chinning can banish that card and a card in graveyard, so that way you're still able to protect the statue. And that can also be said, like, even if you don't get to nothing, and at the end of the day you get to, like, maybe some watered-down board, pun intended, of, like, just statue plus, like, maybe something else, but you're able to facilitate the prince in your hand, which I said earlier, if you made this into a Snowdust, a second Snowdust, you could do that. You just want to be able to use the shrine in your hand to pitch this, discard this, and then you should get access to Poseidra through your combo sequence. Which, again, if we're missing, that'd be the second Sea Serpent you would add, would be Poseidra. Then you can bring back out the Poseidra, target the card that they're getting ready to move attack with, bounce it back, dump, re-get engine, and stuff like that. So it's just layered. There's different routes and stuff to go to get to your end board, but essentially, like, this is like the unbeatable end board you're trying to get to, which is statue plus layer, way to protect statue. And yeah, so I don't know if I'll do any more combo videos of this. I might do a test hand video because I feel like this deck has so much freestyle, so many different variants can exist, so many different like combos can exist by the number of like cards you want to play, the different type of cards you want to play. So I might just do like a test hand video a little bit later down in the week and stuff like that, just to show you guys like how consistent you can get to this end board, which can vary because we only play 3 prints, and then there's definitely 2 card combos that get you to prints. So please, if you guys enjoyed this video and stuff like that, comment down below. But most importantly, you guys stay safe, stay healthy. Let me know what you guys have been testing and doing like that. But, you know, yeah, so stay safe, stay healthy. Charles from Team COG signing out.